few weeks ago, I reviewed a great documentary called Brooklyn Castle that I think has a very good chance of snagging an Oscar nomination. It tells the story of IS-318, a middle school in Brooklyn where over half of the students live below the poverty line, but the school's chess team has managed to win more national championships than any other school in the nation. At IS-318, the chess club kids are the jocks, and the film follows 5 of the kids to show how chess enriches their lives and how they deal with the threat of budget cuts that put the chess program at risk. I had a chance to talk to Brooklyn Castle's director, Dellamaggiore, and one of the chess-playing stars of the film, Alexis Parades, about the film, chess, and the importance of extracurricular activities. So check out my interview with them and go to brooklyncastle.com to find out how you can see the film and support it. So when you started making the movie, what was the story you thought you were going to tell, and what kind of surprised you about what the story was that you did tell?
Yeah, so when we first discovered IS-318 and the fact that they had the best junior high chess program in the nation, the story that I wanted to at first just dig into was the idea that there was this underserved school that was excelling at chess, which was kind of like an unexpected story. And I'll really tell like 5 personal stories of kids who were going through the chess program and how chess was having an impact on their lives, which is what we ended up doing. But the storyline that we didn't expect was when the school got hit with really bad budget cuts and the program was in danger of going away. And potentially the kids would not be able to travel to the tournaments that they were supposed to travel to. So that was definitely what we were not expecting.
And Alexis, it's kind of a sort of a general question, but like in the movie, when I see you guys like studying chess and like doing the work on it, I don't exactly understand what that is. So like, what is kind of studying chess, and what is it that you guys are going through when you're doing that?
So like while we're playing, we have something called notation, and that's when we write down our moves and our opponent's moves throughout the whole game. So after the game, we're able to review the game to see whether we made mistakes or whether we made like a really good move, and that's a really helpful method because it helps us go over our mistakes and go over our accomplishments. And it's just the idea of experience, because like the way you get better is, in my opinion, is that you keep playing and playing and playing. Like you can't really get better without having experienced the actual game. So I mean, for in the movie, practicing is like a really big key.
Something like this, it seems like chess deserves to be funded the way that sports do, and I was kind of wondering what your thoughts on that are, considering that so many sports have so many equipment and they have a lot of traveling as well.
Yeah, and it's funny, like chess isn't actually a very expensive program to fund. At least starting out, you just need some chess boards and a dedicated coach, someone who could teach the kids how to play. At 318, the problem is that once you get really good, it requires travel to tournaments, just like a sports team would travel to state competition or to national competition. And so, I think that a program like chess deserves just as much funding and support as a sports program. And at 318, that's what they believe too. And so even when they are hit with budget cuts, the administration tries to figure out exactly what they need to do to keep the program funded. Because for some kids, it's not sports, it's chess. And, I think it's great that kids have that choice at 318 to kind of find what they're interested in and find what their passion is.
Yeah, like for chess in 318, it doesn't really matter like how much your family makes or what ethnicity you are. It just matters on like how much like dedication you put in, and it's just that it doesn't have to be through chess. It can be through whatever you feel like you want to do. It just matters that the dedication and the perseverance is there and the resources are there in order for you to succeed.
And at 318, when you walk in, you see all the banners and the trophies of the chess team just like it would be a sports team. And so I think that's kind of nice that the team is celebrated in that way, just like the basketball or the baseball or the football team.
And Alexis, I was wondering, like, how do you feel that chess has kind of affected your everyday life, or the way that you think, or the way that you kind of approach life?
Well, the thing is with chess, like when you're playing, it's just when you sit there and just think about endless calculations. That's what usually you have to do in order to like succeed. And with chess, like you have to have a plan, and that like transpires into life, because in life you always have to have a plan. And I feel that for me personally, that it's helped me in my grades, because chess allows you to just sit there and like have the skills of critical thinking and to just sit there and to just think. it's allowed me to succeed, and it's allowed me to become even like smarter, because like it's allowed me to just sit there and just calculate and to learn about things that there's not a straightforward answer to. Like Miss Vickery, the coach, she'll teach us and she'll be like, I think this is the right answer, which is, I feel like, a great way for kids to learn, because there's given this subject where the answers aren't as clear as in math or English. And for me, it just depends on like how much am I thinking, like how much you're willing to just sit there and think. So I feel like it has helped me in a way. I wouldn't change anything about that.
I guess for both of you, but Katie first. I mean, what do you think are kind of fundamental ways we need to shift the way that we look at the concept of extracurricular activities and after-school programs?
Well, first off, I think the word extracurricular is kind of a misnomer, because then you're assuming it's an extra, right? And if something's an extra, then it's not necessary, and so if money's tight, then you cut the extras. So I think there just needs to be a shift in how people perceive enrichment programs, that they're not actually extras, because for a lot of kids, that's kind of a program like chess is like the hook into school. You know, it's the reason they want to be there, and that's worth so much more. You know, if you can get a kid excited about school, then you can increase your math grades or your English grades or your science grades. But if they don't even want to be there, then how do you even get to that point? And so I think a lot of these programs provide that, along with a whole host of other things that they provide, like social development skills that just make you into like fully formed, confident, self-able young adults, you know, and you don't always get that sitting at a desk, you know, just practicing arithmetic.
And I agree with Katie saying that it's like after-school programs aren't really an extracurricular. They're essential to kids like at a young age for them to develop into what they'll be in the future. Like for me, like chess has allowed me to become like more concentrated, more like mature in a way. So I feel that these extracurricular activities, which aren't really extra at all, but they shouldn't be like cut from funding at all. Like it doesn't have to be interesting, it can be through like music or dance or whatever these kids feel like they're good at and what they should pursue.
And I guess it's sort of the flip side of that is, you know, when people are talking about cutting these programs or cutting kind of school budgets in general, like what do you think are kind of consequences that they're overlooking?
I think like in the movie, you see these stories of how chess created opportunities for a lot of the kids in the film. So I just think that the consequence of cutting chess is now you're potentially losing that possible opportunity. And so, you know, for each of the kids it was different. Like Patrick was able to deal with his ADHD better. Rochelle is, you know, possibly going to win a full 4-year scholarship in the film. Alexis wants to get into a really great high school. And so the consequences are clear. I mean, if they really believe that chess is helping them and you cut chess, then you're losing those opportunities that chess has created.
Any thoughts for a sequel to see what happens with the kids and their lives in chess in a few years?
Oh man, yeah, I don't know that I don't know. Do you want a sequel, Alexis?
Sure.
I don't know if we're gonna follow all 5 kids and you can do kind of like 7-Up series on chess, but I mean, we're definitely going to be involved in each other's lives for a long time, and I would love to continue to share the kids' stories like on social media and, you know, with our followers for as long as they'll let us. And then, you know, who knows, part 2, people have actually, you know, I have all these chess people coming up to me now with like the idea for the next chess movie. I don't know if I'm going to make another chess movie, but it certainly is cool because I think it's gotten people more interested in chess. And chess people in particular are really like, I have a great chess story that needs to be told. So I don't know if I'm the one to tell that story, but I think it's neat that they now see their stories as interesting. So maybe someone else will tell their story.
And speaking of the chess community, so what have you been doing with them around this film? I mean, I know there are chess clubs, but yeah. I don't really know anything else about it.
So the United States Chess Federation is the huge governing body of chess in the United States. And so we have a direct partnership with them. And now that the film is rolling out, they've been helping us connect with all of the official clubs in each state that are connected to the United States Chess Federation. So we've been doing tons of word of mouth screenings with these chess clubs, different chess events with them, really like finding a way to engage them in the film. And so, I think, we're trying to reach the chess community constantly. We invite them to screenings. We have the kids play different members of different chess clubs. Just last night, Alexis was playing some kids who one almost actually beat you, I think, right? And yeah, so the idea also is that maybe chess can become a class. There is a push in the chess community for chess to become integrated into schools, and some states are doing that more than others. And so this movie has actually helped people in places that are trying to push that along in some school districts to try to get chess into schools, and help organizations, nonprofit organizations that want to provide chess instruction in schools, and hopefully the film helps them raise money to do that.
Mm-hmm. And Alexis, so like, what is kind of your life in chess right now?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, my high school is actually a very well-founded chess team. 318 is kind of like the feeder school to my high school right now, at Aurora High School. And right now, I think we have one of the strongest teams in the United States. So we're planning on going to most of the nationals. Where before, we weren't really that known for winning as many nationals as 318 did, because when I was part of 318, we would beat my high school right now. And actually this past last season, we actually beat 318 at state championships, but then they came back to win the high school national championship, which is never done for middle school to win that. So this year I'm just working hard, studying chess every single day to hopefully beat 318. But
and you're close to, tell them how close you are to being master.
So actually, it's not really focused in the film, which because Rochelle's actually has a really big important part of being the first African American female chess master. But for me, I'm actually only 100 points away to being master, which is really cool because when I first started playing chess, I always want to be the best, and that's a little kid's outtake on whatever they first want to try to do. They always want to be the best, and they always hated losing, which was what I always hated losing. I would always cry when I would lose a game, but yeah, I'm actually really close to breaking master right now.
This many years later, kind of looking back on for both of you, looking back on the film, sort of what is it that you're kind of seeing and finding in it now that was hard to see when you were in the middle of it?
Well, I feel at a young age, you don't really realize the main ideas of life. For me, when I was being filmed, I really didn't understand the meaning of an actual team and perseverance. It really wasn't that clear for me. As when you get older, you start to mature more. You start to understand the true meanings of perseverance and teamwork and going through hardships together. In the movie, even though we don't win first all the time, when you're a kid, you think that it's the end of the world and you have to beat yourself up on it. But in reality, looking back on it, you realize that's a tool to be used to help you strive harder and to not only be the best, but to make sure that you improve on your mistakes. And it's not really only about winning first place, because in reality you can't always be the best. But the thing is that you always have to strive in order to improve on what you made mistakes on in order to try to gain the upper hand in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, I guess it's just been really cool being on the other side of the film with Alexis and the rest of the students, and seeing them react to the movie. Because when you're just telling an 11 or 12-year-old that you're gonna make a movie about them, I don't think they really get why. You're me, why would you tell my story? There's no perspective. And so now for them to step back and see it, and for them to all understand why that story kind of was important in some way, that's just been really fun.
And Alexis, if you were to speak to a younger kid who'd never played chess before, what would you tell them about why you think it's a good thing to do?
Well, I feel that for a younger kid who's never that wants to try it, they shouldn't be scared to just dip your toe into the subject. It doesn't have to be in chess, but if they want to try to play chess, you shouldn't be afraid of it. At least try to see if you like it or not, and even if you like it and you really want to pursue it, to never give up. And that, I think, a main tool in life for little kids to learn, because maybe they feel that if they like don't succeed one time, that's it, and like that's not really true. Like you should always like keep on going no matter if you win or lose.
Yeah, I hope also, like Alexis said, that I think chess can be maybe intimidating sometimes to people if they don't really understand it. You know, it's like, oh, it's too hard, or that's not for me. And I mean, that's not the case at all. There are kids on the team who like don't even know how to move the pieces when they get to 318, literally. And then by the time they're 8th graders, they're rated like 1600, which is like a really great rating. So yeah, like Alexis said, if you just kind of try it out, you might find that it's for you.